This week we're focused on the letter S. Hey, and welcome to Yodi's Table. Thank you for joining me on this week's A to Z Cooking With Me series, where this week we're focused on the letter S. And I've decided to make these sambusas. Of course, if you're interested in learning how to make this, please stay tuned. Catch you in a jiffy. Sambusas are so great because, of course, they're so versatile. Different cultures make them different ways. You can stuff them with meats, veggies, whatever you desire. So, of course, these are some lentil ones, and they are just scrumdiddlyumptious. So nice and crispy on the outside. Super flavorful on the inside. I could literally probably have like 10 of these, no joke. They're so good. Stay tuned and learn how to make this. I'm gonna show you a close-up. It's so good. Alrighty, in order to get started with our sambusas, here are all of our ingredients. Here I have 2 cups of brown lentils. I just went ahead and rinsed these off. These are gonna be the best for this recipe because they hold their shape when they're cooked and don't mush. I have 1 cup of onions. This is half of a white onion and half of a red onion. 1 carrot grated, 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, a handful of coriander or cilantro, a handful of parsley, 4 cloves of garlic, 1 green chili. Here I have 4 tortillas. This is the burrito size. I just went ahead and sliced these down the middle. And here are all of the spices that'll give this the aroma and the flavor that we're looking for. So here I have a half a tablespoon, of turmeric, garam masala, coriander, cumin, paprika, and garlic powder and curry powder. Here I have 3 tablespoons of avocado oil and 3 tablespoons of water. To this, I also have on the side here 6 cups of water that will be boiling our lentils in, and then I also have 6 cups of oil that will be frying our sambusas in. So let's get to it. So to start, we're gonna go ahead and boil our lentils. I'm gonna turn my burner on to a high heat. I am also gonna heavily salt this because this will be the time to get the most flavor into our lentils as opposed to onto our lentils. And so we want this to soak up the salt. I put in about 2 tablespoons of salt, and I'm gonna go ahead and just pour our lentils right in. And this is gonna boil for approximately, I would say 25 to 30 minutes, so let that boil through. You want them tender to the touch, but not mushy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a good mix, and I'm gonna go ahead and also move this to the back burner so that way we can get started on the remainder of the filling. Okay, so to get started with the remainder of our filling, I'm gonna go ahead and just turn our burner onto a medium-high heat. I have my burner on about a 3.5. And so what we're gonna do is just go ahead and toss our onions in. We want this to sweat out as much as possible and also get a little bit of a golden color. So I'm gonna let this go for about 3 to 4 minutes. And in addition to that, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop in our oil and let these go. So once our onions have become translucent and got a little bit of color on them, we're gonna go ahead and toss in our garlic and give that a good mix. as always, no garlic left behind. We're also gonna go ahead and toss in our carrots, as well as our green chilies. Look at all these beautiful colors. So this will be really appeasing to the eye when you bite into it. And in addition to that, the carrots will add just a tad bit of sweetness. The chilies will add a tad bit of heat. And of course, your onions and garlic will add tons of flavor. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and turn down my heat to a low. And I'm also going to go ahead and add my parsley and the cilantro. So once the carrots have cooked down some, as well as the parsley and cilantro, we're going to go ahead and just dump all our spices in. And we can go ahead and add a little bit of water to this to just break up the spices and make sure that everything is thoroughly coated. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of water. I'm gonna add just a little bit more water. If only you can smell the room right now. It smells absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna turn this heat off while we wait for our lentils to cook. And so we'll be back once our lentils are boiled and continue with the process. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and just clean up as I go. Alrighty, so we are back. I did go ahead and just drain the water from the lentils. Of course, you can see that they are cooked. They are really, really tender to the touch, but they have kept their shape, so this is definitely what we're looking for. Alrighty, so to continue, we're gonna go ahead and turn our burner back on to a medium-high heat. I have mine on about a 2.5. So to this mixture, we're gonna go ahead and just pop our lentils right in. And give this a good mix. What we're looking for is for all the spices and all the veggies and aromatics to come together. And so we'll know that once the lentils have kind of gotten that yellowish color, so you want everything to be thoroughly mixed. Once everything is thoroughly mixed, we're gonna go ahead and give this a taste. Of course, we did put some salt in our lentils, but we want to check for some salt, some pepper, and just make sure that all of your seasonings are on point. I'm gonna go ahead and add about a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna refrain from the pepper this time just because there's already a nice little kick. Actually, let's do about a tablespoon and a half. Give it another taste. That's perfect. So our lentils are starting to stick to the bottom just a little bit. So I'm gonna ease that up with a little bit of water. And I'm gonna just let this cook out for about another minute or two. So once that's cooked out for about a minute or two, we're gonna go ahead and transfer this to a bowl and get ready to assemble our sambusas. Alrighty, so I went ahead and transferred our mixture into a bowl, and then what we're gonna go ahead and do is create a paste out of the flour. So we're gonna go ahead and take some water, and you want this to be kind of thick. This will help to seal up the sambusas, and so you don't want any clumps. You want it to be a smooth consistency, but on the thicker side. So add as much water as you need to get the desired consistency. So this is the texture that we are looking for. And so we're gonna set this aside, and now to assemble our sambusas. So I'm gonna go ahead and just heat up our tortillas for about 10 to 15 seconds. We want to make sure that they're mendable and flexible, so that way it's easier to assemble these. Also, if you find that your mixture is either too thick or too thin, you can just adjust accordingly. So if you find that your mixture, your paste is too thin, go ahead and add some more flour. And if it's too thick, just add some more water until, again, the desired consistency. Alrighty, so I'm gonna use a pastry brush. Of course, you can use your fingers if you desire, no big deal. Okay, so now to assemble this, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we wanna go ahead and have the flat side facing us, and we're gonna go ahead and just bring both sides to the middle, and you wanna kind of arrange this so that way it doesn't have a hole on the bottom, but it's also even. So once you're able to seal that, we're gonna go ahead and take some of our paste and just plop this right on. This is gonna help seal our sambusa so that way none of the mixture is falling into the pot and burning. So you wanna go ahead and just kind of seal that up. And again, no holes in the bottom. And at this point, we're gonna go ahead and fill it with our mixture. And you want this about, I would say, 3/4 of the way full. You don't want them to be too full, because then when it comes down to folding the tops, you're gonna have a hard time. And you also don't want too little, because you don't want any of the oil to just kind of seep in. So at this point, once you have it full, just kind of pack that right in. And now we're gonna take one of the sides and just kind of push that up against to meet your filling. And then we're gonna apply some paste. And seal these right up. And this is kind of what we're looking for. Of course, if you find that some of these have holes in them and things like that, just take a little bit of paste and seal your tortillas up. So I'll show you a few more, and then we'll get these to fry. And you kind of want to set this out for a little bit so that way the paste dries itself out. But essentially, this is the shape that we're looking for. And we'll set this aside. So again, you want the flat side facing you. Bring these up to the middle. Once you've found your spot, kind of give that a fold. Pop your paste right on. Seal that up. Again, making sure that there's no holes in the bottom. Fill it up with your mixture. Go ahead and fold one of the sides. Pop your paste right on. And go ahead and fold that up. So I'm gonna continue with the remainder. Of course, if you have filling, just add more tortillas. Of course, you can definitely change this recipe out. That's the best thing about sambusas, is they're so versatile. You can literally use the same exact ingredients and just swap it out for either a ground beef, a ground chicken, some ground turkey, whatever you desire. The best part of making these sambusas is you can also freeze them for a later date if you needed to. Sometimes I'll go ahead and just make a bunch and set them in the freezer and then pull them out and fry them right before you're getting ready to eat them. And of course, if you have a lot more mixture, you can also set that aside for about 4 to 5 days if you wanted to go ahead and just use that for either something else or fold your sambusas at a later time. Okay, so now that our sambusas are all folded up, they are ready to fry. So out of the mixture that I had, I was able to get at least 13. And so I'm gonna go ahead and fry half of them now and save the rest and freeze them for a later date. So I have my oil going. We're gonna go ahead and do the wooden spoon trick. So you'll just take any wooden spoon that you have and set it to the bottom. If you see the oil around it, that means it's ready to go. And so we don't want to crowd the oil, so we'll do 3 at a time. What we're looking for with this is for them to be golden brown, and so it'll take approximately 2 to 3 minutes to fry up. So we're looking for a nice golden brown color. Once they are nice and golden brown on one side, go ahead and flip them over so it'll be about halfway through, so about 1.5 minutes. I'm gonna take a peek at the back, and these are just about done. So now that these are done, we're gonna go ahead and pull them out. I did go ahead and just line a plate with some paper towels. This is to make sure to drain off any excess oil. Look at the beautiful golden color. We'll go ahead and add the remainder. All right, so these are all done. We'll go ahead and pop these out as well. Look at our beautiful sambusas. And these are ready to serve. And this is our final product, our sambusas. Of course, if you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace. Until next time.